Hey y'all, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna be creating in my Diane Reevely art journal today, and I'm gonna start off by priming my pages with gesso. That's always an easy first step. There's no pressure, but it gets the paintbrush going. I'm using just the regular inexpensive brand of gesso that I got at Walmart. It works just as well in on an art journal page as the expensive kind. I am going to try and fast forward through some of the boring parts so you don't have to sit here and watch me play with my heart shaped gesso. While my gesso is still wet, I'm going to add some collage pieces. I'm using some note paper or music paper from an old book, but you can use whatever you want. You can use paper from scrapbooking. You can use old maps. You can use old magazine pictures from old magazines, old books, anything you can think of, you can use. And like I said, right now I'm just laying it down on the gesso. But as we know, gesso dries pretty quick. And here in a second, I'm going to help it dry because it's already starting to dry. But after it's dried, I am going to add the rest of my collage paper with Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium in the matte. This little square of paper is actually a piece of origami paper. I bought this on Amazon. They come in little packs and they have their own little case. And they're the perfect size for working in your art journals. I learned this from someone, but I cannot remember who. But I will think about it and get back to you. Right here, I'm actually showing y'all the Artesia acrylic paint that I'm going to be using on this art journal page. But I'm actually not using it right now because I still have a lot of collaging to do. And again, I bought these off of Amazon. I live in the country. And so it's real hard for me to get art supplies. So most of my art supplies I buy online. What I'm going to be using next is a napkin. And I like to buy mine at Tuesday morning. But they're awesome for collaging. You can find some really, really cute patterns. When you start pasting down napkins in your journal, they are going to tear. They are going to bunch up. But don't worry about that. That's all part of their charm. It adds to the texture of your page. Remember how I told you that you could use almost anything for your collaging? This little picture frame is actually a piece of scrap left over from when I did some die cutting. And I think the flower is from a scrapbooking paper pack that I bought that had some ephemera that came with the pack. Either that or it came out of a Tim Holtz ideology ephemera packet, or just like the little cars that are down there came from the Tim Holtz ideology. I'm not exactly sure which one the flower came from, because I keep a little cardboard box and I just throw all my little ephemera into the box so that when I start to journal, I can just kind of dig through it and pull out what speaks to me at that moment. Now I'm going to be using the Arteza acrylic paint, and I'm using just a makeup sponge, my fingers, just to smear it around and have fun with it. And you'll see me using a baby wipe just to thin it out and get it just the way that I like it. You should see the shimmer in this paint. It is really pretty, but it doesn't pick up on the video, which makes me sad. I am adding some gesso. I'm going to use that to lighten up some spots, some areas to give a little bit of contrast. And don't worry, that big blob, my fingers are going to find that and it won't be there any longer. I am going to be using my Lyra graphite pencils to do some outlining around the edges of my ephemera pictures. I'm going to use that to do some shadowing so that the pictures pop out from the page. I will use a baby wipe and my finger to smudge it in really good. Now for some stenciling. I got these stencils on Amazon and I will leave the link for y'all because these are awesome little stencils if you do regular journaling, dialoguing, daytimer, or Bible journaling. These are awesome little stencils, so I will leave you a link for those. I am going to be using archival ink on this part. This glitter paste that I'm using or gonna be using next on this stencil is so beautiful. I got it at a craft store. It was not a craft store but a craft show, and it's called Glitter Kiss, and it's made by Creative Expressions. And this one's called Sahara Gold Kiss, but it is the most awesome paste. It comes with the applicator in the lid, and it is so full of shimmer. It looks very beautiful, but you just can't tell on the video, which makes me very sad. But if you ever go to a craft show and you see this, they have so many different colors. You have to get some. I am so addicted to sparkle. This next paste that I'm using is called SnowFlake paste. It's from Finnabair and it's so sparkly. It's just like the snow when the light hits it just right and you see the little sparkles and shimmers. I love this. I would use this on everything. I'm so addicted to it, but I'm addicted to everything sparkle. The little ballerina girl and and the little baby that I'm fixing to be adding are from Tim Holtz Ideology paper dolls. I got these at, I think, Hobby Lobby. Added some splatter with some black watered down paint using Tim Holtz splatter brush, and now I'm adding the Nuvo glitter drops to the flower to add a little sparkle. And once this is dry, I'm going to use the Distress crayon, the black, the Tim Holtz Distress crayons, to go around all the edges and kind of go back over where I had smudged the shadows to kind of make them pop a little more. Well, I think that's just about it. I just have a couple of more little highlighted places that I'm going to adjust. Thank you for joining me on this, my first video. I have been doing art, painting, and drawing ever since I was very, very young. But I just got into art journaling about 6 or 7 years ago. And there have been some people that I love to follow, and I'm going to leave a link below for them. I've also taken some classes. I love taking classes. I love to see what other people are doing. You can always learn something new. I will leave some links for some classes that I've taken. I'm fixing to start another one. I'm not trying to take what they do. I'm trying to find my own way, and you can do that too. Thanks again. Bye.